Hello there, guys. It's me, Matt. Today, we are going to return back at Matt Talks. Yes, this is the second Matt Talks, and I'm returning. We're going to talk more about some brand new stuff that's happening on the internet. So, if you guys do not know what we're going to be talking today, which is kind of weird because it literally says it down here. We're going to be talking about the Mandalorian and Super Nintendo World. So we're going to be talking about the season finale of The Mandalorian, and we're going to be talking about stuff that they show in Super Nintendo World. Now, if you want to see the Super Nintendo World, I totally recommend to click on the timestamp that I put on this video because the Mandalorian, we're going to be talking about the season finale, and some people may have not seen it yet. So if you did not see it yet, then totally recommend to skip that bit and go see the Super Nintendo bit if you're interested at that. So let's get straight into it and let's get it. So if you guys do not know what the Mandalorian is, it is about a show about a Mandalorian. It is like this Mandalorian's goal is to bring Baby Yoda or Goku to Grogu. I don't know why I'm saying his name wrong, but to bring him back to his species. But obviously, Mando doesn't really know what this species is, and he needs to bring it back to a Jedi. So just keep that in mind. So now, now the Mandalorian and his pals like Boba Fett and like his friends, they are planning on going to Moff Gideon's cruiser ship, and obviously, they need like a good person that they can like take and capture. So that's why they captured the Doctor that supposedly is taking some of Grogu's blood, so they can make like a new species or something like that. So obviously they found the ship and they kidnapped the Doctor or held him hostage. But obviously there was this pilot that was like about to shoot the Doctor and saying like I wasn't that planet that was destroyed in that I don't know the name of the female, but obviously the female killed the pilot before the pilot could kill the Doctor, and that was pretty much it. They hold hostage, and that was the first scene. In the next scene, they were flying and they landed to Bo-Katan. If you do not know what Bo-Katan is technically a Mandalorian, but obviously she's not the leader because Moff Gideon has a very special artifact called the Dark Saber. And the Dark Saber is this very black hilt. It's kind of like a sword, and supposedly whoever has the Dark Saber rules on Mandalore and has like all the great Mandalorian powers, and obviously Moff Gideon has it, and and Bo-Katan wants to retrieve that and rule Mandalore once again, but obviously Moff Gideon has it, and she felt like she can't be Moff Gideon, so Mando finds Bo-Katan again, and they were talking, saying like, "We need your help beat Moff Gideon." And she's like, "We do not know where Moff Gideon is," but Mando said that he has coordinates to where Moff Gideon is, and obviously he told Bo-Katan that she has the child, and she was into Boba Fett and like Bo-Katan got in a little fit. They like fighting, and it was like, "You don't deserve your armor," and they were all fighting and jazz and stuff. It was very interesting and also very weird because they were like fighting. They were like they were like throwing. They were like shooting. They were like using the fire thing on their arms, and they're like like that. It was very very interesting, and yeah. So that's the second scene. In the third scene, they started planning when they have all the people together. They have Bo-Katan, they got Mando, they got his pals, they got everything they need, and even the Doctor, as the Doctor was actually a very reliable source, as the Doctor knows all these stuff like the landing bay and about these new things called the Dark Troopers, and these Dark Troopers are actually robots, which is very interesting. I don't think we have seen anything like that except for like episode 1, 2, and 3. So it was something unique. It was something different from before, and it was pretty cool. Seeing the Dark Troopers in later in the episode. So yeah, we're gonna get more to the Dark Troopers later. But obviously the doctor's saying like you need to be careful because there's all of these stuff happening. So they found them. So they came up with a plan, thinking that Boba Fett was going to shoot their ship, and with that, Bo-Katan was driving the ship, and she's like, "We need to get into the cruiser," and like Moff Gideon was like, "This is kind of suspicious," so he sends TIE fighters to attack Boba Fett's ship, which is the Slave One, and obviously Boba Fett easily destroyed the TIE fighters easily, and he hyperspace and he disappeared, and I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Boba Fett later, as there's something cool that happened that is happening to Boba Fett in a later event. Um, so they landed and they started shooting, and the real reason is that technically Mando wants to get the child while Bo-Katan wants to kill Moff Gideon. So they're separate their ways, and they Bo-Katan and the pals of Mando all went to trying to find Moff Gideon and kill him, while Mando, on the other hand, is trying to save the child. So obviously, Bo-Katan and her group, they did a very good job. They killed all the troopers, and they even went to the bay, which is usually where Moff Gideon is, and Moff Gideon wasn't there. So they were worried where Moff Gideon was. They were thinking that maybe he escaped or he did something like that. And we will get back to Moff Gideon in a little bit, and here's why. Alright, so Mando, on the other hand, is trying to go find Baby Yoda. But obviously he's trying to find it, and he got in a little conflict by one Dark Trooper. And the Dark Troopers are very strong. They're indestructible. The only way you can kill is by like a spear or like a lightsaber. That's the only way you can like fully kill them. And it was very interesting because Mando did such a great job on getting rid of the Dark Troopers, because the Dark Troopers are like I said, robots, and they're like really powerful robots. So Mando was fighting the Dark Trooper. He speared the Dark Trooper, and he even gets rid of all the extra ones, because there's like 40 or like 50 Dark Troopers, and it was pretty crazy to see that Mando did such a great job, getting rid of those Dark Troopers, because those Dark Troopers are supposedly pretty strong to defeat, and Mando did a pretty good job. After that, he finally found Baby Yoda's like prison cell, but guess what? Moff Gideon was there, holding the dark saber right near Baby Yoda, and Moff Gideon made like an agreement with Mando, saying like, "Hey, drop your blaster," and they talked, and Moff Gideon was like, "You must not give Bo-Katan the dark saber at all, and you must not do anything like that." And they saying like, "Oh, you can have the child back, because we already have the things that we need for the child, and that the child was gifted." So the Mandalorian got Baby Yoda, took him, and Moff Gideon said, "Never come back here ever again." Until Moff Gideon wields his dark saber and starts hitting Mando in the armor. Now in the Star Wars universe, usually if someone does that like a lightsaber and you get hit, you will pretty much be dead. But because of Mando's armor, which is made by pure Beskar, which is some sort of like material in the Star Wars universe, fact check me if I'm wrong, but obviously he had like a really strong armor, and he even had a spear, which I said he killed with the Dark Trooper, that's also made by pure Beskar. So it was kind of like a lightsaber kind of thing for Mando. So they have a big epic fight. Mando did a bunch of tricks, but obviously Moff Gideon destroyed his weapons and stuff, and Moff Gideon was like a big challenging opponent until Mando had the edge, and he obviously beat Moff Gideon. He arrested and he took the dark saber away from him. So now while Bo-Katan and her group, was like walking and trying to still find where Moff Gideon is, Mando came with the child holding the dark saber while pulling Moff Gideon. Now that was kind of shocking, and with Bo-Katan seeing that, Bo-Katan was kind of furious and kind of glad in the same time. And I will speak more about that like in a little bit, and you'll see why. Um, so obviously they were talking, and Bo-Katan was like, you got Moff Gideon," and Moff Gideon was laughing because in the Mandalorian lore, in order to get the dark saber, you must beat the wielder, which means that you must beat the person that has it. But technically, Mando beat Moff Gideon, and now the lightsaber is his. But now Bo-Katan wanted the dark saber to rule Mandalore and to bring peace back together in Mandalore. But because of Mando beating Gideon, now he is the wielder of the dark saber, and he's like, just take it, and she's like, I can't. And after that, Moff Gideon was still laughing because there was still a big platoon of robots. And if you did not remember, I said that the robots, were shooted out of space. I do not know if I said that, but they were shooted out of space, which means that, they were gone. No need to worry about it. But like I said, there are robots. So all of a sudden, the robots returned, the Dark Troopers returned, and obviously they were worried about this because they were indestructible. They were like really powerful, and yeah, they were pretty difficult to beat. And they were worried about it. And even the Dark Troopers were so close, they were like banging on the door that they were in, until we see a X-wing come all of a sudden. And when I was watching this, I was like, dang, I know who it is now. And then after that, we see this guy in a hood, and he looked very, very mysterious, and he was like destroying all the Dark Troopers. And then he took off his cloak, and it was Luke Skywalker. I was shocked, and even more to a surprise. It is not like Mark Hamill Luke. It's not like an old like 80-year-old Luke. It is a full 30-year-old Luke. They made it so realistic, and it was super cool to see Luke back in the flesh. And obviously Luke felt the presence of Baby Yoda, and he's like, I need to take Baby Yoda to train him. He is not ready. He may be a force wielder, but without training, it is useless. But Baby Yoda didn't want to leave Mando, and he was very sad. But Mando was like, you have to go. He will take you back to your kind. Mando even took off his helmet, and it seems like Mando was very emotional because they were so connected for a long period of time. And I can totally feel like if I was Baby Yoda and I had to move on with someone else, I would probably feel like, sad. But obviously Luke is a trained Jedi, so obviously it was the right decision to take him back to his rightful owner, and that Luke can teach Baby Yoda. And yeah, and then after that, Luke was walking. R2-D2 comes out all of a sudden, and he saw Baby Yoda, and it was very, very interesting. After that, they just walked off. They got in the elevator. The elevator closes. Boom, that's the end. And that was the end of the Mandalorian season finale. I have to say, I was very, very excited about this. To be quite honest, this was probably the best actual episode in like the Star Wars history in like the longest time ever. And I have seen many people when they saw Luke like appear in like the flesh. Many people were like emotional, and I can feel that because like you have not seen that Luke in such a long time. Like just imagine if you see like if you were like 10 and you saw the Return of the Jedi. That was like 30 years ago. And now you're seeing Luke again in The Mandalorian. That's crazy. Yeah, thank you for the donut.
You're welcome.
Yay, I got a donut, yo. So yeah, it was very, very cool. I can't believe it. And I remember I said this, but you may be wondering what happened to Boba Fett. They officially announced that there's going to be a Boba Fett. I don't know if it's a series or it's just like one episode, but they're announcing that there's going to be a Boba Fett like spin-off thing that's going to happen in the Mandalorian world in December of 2021. Now that's kind of a long time from now, but there's a lot of other series that are coming in the Star Wars franchise like Ahsoka, I heard, is having her own TV show and it's based around the Mandalorian universe. I don't know what would be even more cooler if we see Luke, Ahsoka, and maybe even Ezra appear. Like, just think about that. That'd be epic. So yeah, and that's pretty much it for the Mandalorian. Like I said, it was epic. It was cool, and I really, really enjoyed that episode of The Mandalorian. So that is all for The Mandalorian. Now we're going to be talking about Super Nintendo World, the brand new world that is coming in Universal Studios in Japan in 2021. And it's supposed to be opening on February 14, 2021. Now, the world was planning on opening on 2020, but obviously due by the pandemic and by COVID, they pushed it to 2021. And now the world is built, and there was this like directing where they show a bunch of cool things and stuff. So I'm gonna dive into that right now. So first, in the beginning of the video, we see this clip of like Miyamoto in the entrance, and it's a big pipe. Supposedly warping you into Mario, into the Mario world, and it was pretty cool. Also, they play a bunch of music all over the world, which, to be quite honest, is pretty nice. He pretty much showed the world. He showed a bunch of different power ups. He showed like activities you can do. He even showed like the little like watch where you can do activities. You can punch the blocks and make like a ding sound. It was very interesting and very cool. Also, he shows a bunch of things like the caves where you can go into a cave and you can see bombs, and some of the bombs exploded, which is pretty cool to be quite honest. And there was so many stuff. There was some stuff that they did not show, but obviously they did this because they didn't want to spoil everything. And they showed like everything. They showed the world, and I have to say it's pretty big. It looks very, very nice. And they even show inside Bowser's castle, which is the Mario Kart ride that actually took them 6 years to make. 6 years to make. Like, that's crazily long, man. And I'm actually very, very impressed with the world. I mean, I really wish I could go. But it's in Japan right now, and obviously by the pandemic, not really so sure we can go. But they did say that's going to be coming in Universal Florida, Singapore, and even California in the coming years. So if you don't want to like fly to Japan, it's okay. You can wait for maybe like 1 or 2 years, and boom, it's gonna be like very close to where you live, and it's very cool to see the world be so realistic because like no one has seen like the like Nintendo like Mario in like such a full-fledged form. Like this is the first time we ever seen like a Nintendo world appear so realistic, and it's very, very cool. Um and they also show like a gift shop. They show a bunch of things you can do. You know what I have to say? It's crazy, and I'm really really excited to see what else they show, and maybe and even the Mario Kart ride. Like that would be epic to see how it actually looks. Does it look epic? Does it look realistic? Does it feel like you're driving the car? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of unexpected. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Super Nintendo World. If you want to see more, you can click on the description down below where you can see Shigeru Miyamoto do everything. And overall, that is pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this Mad Talks video, and I hope that all you guys have a great day. See ya.